Guys, so we're back with Taco Imposters. This time I'm trying something new. I'm trying to put, well, for at least for the podcast, because I've done it before with just random videos, and it was putting the um camera. Because now my figured I have okay, my dad's computer can can I can transfer all of this video to the computer with the sound, which is like, oh yes, but it's real time, so therefore it's long. It's really long. So if I do a 45-minute thing, I then 45-minute um podcast, I then have to transfer that and wait 45 minutes to watch the tape just roll, which is like, oh, it's a lot of work. But or it's just long time. There's no work involved in it. You just let it play, but it just plays forever. You don't have to watch it to make sure it doesn't go over and just doesn't record for like 3 hours. I don't know. I've had that before where I've hit like turned my computer back on when it was sleeping just by clicking the spacebar, and it was on OBS and it was on play, and I've recorded like 3 hours of nothing pretty much because it was the capture card, but still took up space. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going to try here. I don't know if it's going to work very well because I tried that once before and the sound turned out like absolute garbage. I don't know, there's like some buzz that you could hear barely anything from last episode. I think it was last week's episode. Anyway, it was bad, very bad. I mean, it wasn't. Well, I mean, no, okay. I was going to say it wasn't unwatchable. It was unwatchable. I'm debating deleting the whole entire video. Just like, no, it's bad. But you can kind of barely make out stuff. So I'm like, maybe for those people who don't care, I don't know. But yeah, that's that. And yeah. So that's that. So this is Talk About Imposters for March 22nd, 2020. Right? Monday, March 22nd? March 23rd, 2020. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what to talk about. I never know what to talk about ever in these episodes or in these podcasts, because the whole thing of doing the one thing with the movies, music, and events of the years, I hit 2019 or hit 2020, and then that was it. I'm like, okay, am I gonna go backwards? I said I was gonna go backwards, but now I'm just like, I don't want to. But anyway. The Animal Crossing came out, I don't know, like a few days ago, and I have no care. Like I don't have any interest in Animal Crossing. I don't really care. People say it's good. People say it's good, right? I mean, it's an Animal Crossing. The new big thing is you can craft things, and so because you can craft things, they're making it kind of like a Minecraft in how you have to create. Well, no, you make it, and then it has like a not a structure bar. What is it, like a? It has like a energy, not energy meter. What am I looking for? The word I'm looking for. I'm looking for like not energy. It has like a blanking right now. Has a. Oh my gosh. Anyway, certain like life, it will break after a certain amount of time. Why can't I think of this word? Of a breaking time. No, of a strength bar, health bar, strength. It has. Well, anyway, and it'll break after a certain amount of time. For like if you make like a shovel or an axe or something, it'll break eventually. I think though, if you can, I'm not sure if you can upgrade those things. I don't know much about uh Animal Crossing very much. I don't know much. I don't know much about Animal Crossing, so I don't know if you can like upgrade these tools now. I think you can like for better ones. I don't know if you can do Minecraft style where you can, have a diamond pickaxe or diamond axe, whatever. Can you put diamond axe? I have no idea. Maybe. I've never tried. I never really use axes in Minecraft, to be honest. No, I'm just like I use a pickaxe usually. Cause I don't bother making other things. I'm also really lazy in Minecraft. Where I'm just like, do I have to go and make another thing, and then I have to turn over to it and use it. I'm just really lazy. But anyway, yeah, that came out, and now did the PS5 come out? Because I was looking on Instagram with random posts about the PS5 not on Instagram, on YouTube about post for the PS5. I don't know. Is the PS5 come out yet? Let's see. PS5. No. Release date. PS5 release date. I feel like it already came out. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've heard it was supposed to come out like at the end of the year. So I don't know what people are talking about when I see posts of them saying the PS5 came out today or launched, whatever. I don't know. Why is it not loading anyway? Let me try. Come on, better. Wow, that's bad. And I heard, what was it? It was, you're able to play all the games. Was it all the games on it? So all the pre. There you go. What the heck happened there? Release date. There you go. Yeah. When was the release date on the PS5? It was. It apparently is supposed to. Well, November 2020. There you go. It's like what? Well, this is from PS5, PlayStation5.com. Or where's a better resource? I don't know. Official. See the official release date, learn price, specs, all that stuff. So no, it's not coming out yet. Okay. Holiday 2020. Okay. And what was the whole specs on it? Specs. No. Backwards compatibility. What was the backwards compatibility thing about it again? I remember listening to the CEO podcast about it. It was might not be fully backwards compatible. PS5 will be backwards compatible thanks to Microsoft. Huh? All the latest evidence. The PS4 is absolutely killing it this generation with millions of consoles now comfortably sitting in gamers' homes. That's an impressive install base. But if Sony releases a brand new console without backwards compatibility, they would essentially starting from scratch. Yeah, okay. What we know about specs, backwards compatibility, games, release dates, price, controllers. Okay, this is from GameSpot.com. Okay, what do you got here? Despite the despite the recent system is fast approaching its launch day something during this year's holiday season, although there is still plenty we don't know about it. The latest facts are slowly clearing the fog around what we can expect. Last year, Sony began to reveal some of the first details about their next gen plans with PS5, and we only expected that to continue in the month ahead. Can we get to the point here? Let me see. What's the specs? If Sony follows the outline for the PS4 was popularly unveiled below table of contents, release date, price, backwards. Well, no, I've heard. Okay. In terms of which games players can expect to play, the full list hasn't been confirmed. However, Corny also confirmed the PS will be backwards compatible with PS4 games, as the two consoles are built upon similar internal architecture. This will be welcome news for those who were disappointed by the PS4's lack of backwards compatibility with PS3, PS2, and PS1. Oh yeah, didn't it have absolutely no backwards compatibility whatsoever, or something? From what I heard, I might be wrong about that. From what I heard, it was just nothing, no backwards. I didn't have one, so don't ask me. Personally, I didn't know. But oh no, it was because the PS3 had this weird thing with the first model had backwards compatibility with everything, so it could play 2 and 1, right? 1 and 2 games, PS1, PS2 games, and then because I have one down there, I'm looking at it, and then the next model, only certain models of that model, which was a Slim, could play it if you had the 128 gig, I think, and not the 60, or is it the 80 gig, not the 60 gig. I don't know, something like that. The bigger hard drive model could play it, from what I remember. I might be wrong on that too. you can crap all over me in the comments. But um, and then the Slim completely got rid of all, like a Super Slim completely got rid of all backwards compatibility with PS2 games. But all three models of PlayStation 3 played PlayStation 1 games through an emulation kind of thing. It wasn't hardware. The original one had basically a PS2 inside a PS3, so something like that. From what I've heard, I don't know exactly. I never looked into this. I don't really care to be honest. But yes, let me keep reading this. Yeah, lack. So I think the PS4 had virtually none, where the Xbox One had really weird had really weird Xbox 360 compatibility. Certain games were compatible, and they never gave us like a full list. Here are the games that are compatible. So people just had to like scrounge and be like, hey, well, try every game they own and see. Oh, this one's compatible. This is not. This is compatible. And people like make up their own list, compile their own lists. Maybe it's because they didn't even know which ones were compatible. Microsoft? I don't know. Something tells me they. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about that. In terms of which games can be played, the full list has been confirmed. However, Corny noted that PS4's 100 most played games will be playable on PS5 at launch and will all run even better than before. Running PS4 and PS4 titles at boosted frequencies has also added complexity. Corny said the boost is truly massive this time around, and some game code isn't just handled it. Can't handle it. Testing has to be done on the title by title basis. Not a title by title basis thing. Results are excellent though. We recently took a look at the top 100 PlayStation 4 titles as ranked by playtime, and we're expecting almost all of them to be playable at launch. Okay, what about backwards compatibility with PS3 games and PS2 games? I heard something about how you can play PS2 and PS. Okay, let me look up something else. PS5. Let me just see. PS1 backwards compatibility. What's the actual deal with PS4 and Xbox Series backwards compatibility? No. PS4 will be backwards compatible thanks to Minecraft. No. Microsoft. No. It might not be fully backwards compatible. Where's the whole... There you go. Please do to be backwards compatible with PS1, PS2, according to ValueWalk.com. Sony missed the backwards compatibility features with the PS4. But it appears that the Japanese company wants to compensate for it with its next-gen console. A new patent surfaces recently suggesting complete backwards compatibility on PS4. Complete backwards compatibility, what does it mean? Complete backwards compatibility on PS5 means that the next-gen console would be compatible with all the previous consoles. 1, 2, and 3. PS1, 2, 3, and 4. If it is true, then it would truly be a delight for the fans. That's the thing. I didn't want a PS4 because I didn't see any games that I really, really wanted. I was really tempted to get PS4 and VR because I saw a PS4 with VR on... Was it Kijiji? No, it was on Letgo. Anyway, online for $100. And I was like, I asked the guy, that's with the VR? And he's like, yeah. That's not just the system or the VR. Like, that's both the system and the VR. And he's like, yeah. I was like so tempted to buy it. I don't know why I didn't buy it. I think I just forgot about it. And now I think it's gone. Anyway. This new patent by Sony Interactive Entertainment was filed on January 20th, 2017 and published on January 31st, 2019. The inventors list for the patent includes Mark Carney, who is the lead architect of the PS4, and Simon Pilgrim, the principal programmer at Sony Entertainment Group. I don't really care. Is it really coming? Attending complete backwards compatibility on the Attaining complete backwards compatibility on PS5 may not be an easy thing. Emulating PS4 on the PS5 could be relatively easier than emulating the earlier consoles, like the PS3, which had a different architecture, especially its cell processor. Reportedly, this was the main reason why Sony faced difficulty in making the PS4 backwards compatible. But the new patent suggests that Sony may have found a way to address the earlier issue. It might be noted that the patent makes no reference to any gaming console, but it is largely believed that the patent is talking about the complete backwards compatibility on PS5. Another speculation is that the patent could be a new addition to the PS4, as it only mentioned a new device application. Also, another possibility is that it is just another patent from the Japanese company with no surety of it being actually implemented. Nevertheless, if Sony does, however, succeed in bringing complete backwards compatibility on PS5, it could prove the biggest selling point of a user on a Reddit thread, discussing this latest patent that make me buy a PS4 day one. I'd also be a PC fan for life. I'd also been a PC fan for life just by virtue of all the games being on PS. Oh, PS. Sorry, I read it as PC. I've been a PS fan for life just by virtue of all the games being on a PS account. So I can really see the business sense of this. What is it coming? When is it coming? In the absence of the official word of the PS5's release date, there are several speculations pointing to different launch periods of the console, though most of the analysts are predicting a release date of 2020 or 20. Oh, no, I don't think it's 2021. I think it's coming this year. Even though all this is going on in the world, I think it's still going to come out in Christmas of this year. Well, because they talked about it's pretty much, from what I heard, it's pretty much not done, but if they know this and this, if they can say this, and this about it, right? All these specs, right? All these specs down the list. And then for me, it's just like, well, then it's coming out this year. You have so much. Why would you not put it out this year? Maybe you want to wait for, like, some better, like, what do you call it? Not simpler times, easier times. Times when people have money, to be honest. But, at least in America, in North America. But yeah, yeah, so, yeah. I don't know. I think it would come out this year, honestly. But, I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's gonna come out this year. But I feel like it's gonna come out this year. But if it doesn't, hey, what do I care? I'm not gonna buy one. I'm probably not gonna buy one. But this is very tempting if we know for a fact that it is backwards compatible with all other things, all other games, all other systems, all other PlayStation systems. Oh, because I wanted a PS3, because I wanted backwards compatibility with PS2 games originally as a kid. I remember that. I remember that for a fact. I was like, that's why I wanted one as a kid. And then when I heard it was all this like weird mishmash, like some are, some aren't. They don't really sell the ones that do. You might not find one that can play PS2 games. I was like, forget it. Because I've already told the story. My dad gave me a choice. He's like, you want a PS3 or a Wii? And I was like, at one point I was like, I want a PS3. I want a PS3. And I was determined. I was set on it. I was like, no, I want a PS3. I've decided I want a PS3. And then I don't know why, but I changed my mind to a Wii, and I'm happy I did. But the reason I'm happy I did, I've told this story before, but the reason I'm happy I did was because all the people, all my friends, all my group of people, peers, all that, they had, Wiis, right? The same reason why I bought a DS, not a PSP. I knew people who had a PSP, but that was like 1 out of the 10 friends I had. I'm not saying all 10 friends had DSs, but there were like 5 who had DSs. There were 2 that had PSPs, and then the other 2, or the 3, their friends who just didn't have anything. So, but I'm saying like there was a majority of the people who had DSs. That's why I bought a DS, not a PSP. So I got a. Well, at that time, I didn't know that they had that. Nobody had. That was the thing. I just hung out with the right. But that just showed who I hung out with. I could have found people who had the PS3s and you know because all the people who had them or who knew about them were just like, yeah, you got to find the right model. Make sure you get this it's the 120 with this and that, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay. I'm like, no. I don't think that's the reason why I got a Wii. I think I just changed my mind as a kid. I'm just happy I did because I played some freaking amazing games on Wii. Some good games. I like the Wii games, the ones that have Wii Sports, Wii Play, Wii Sports Resort, and Wii Music is what I had as a kid. Well, I didn't have Wii Music. I got that way later. But I had those three. Wii Play, Wii Sports, or Wii Sports, Wii Play, and Wii Sports Resort. Yeah. I got Wii Play because I wanted Wii Play. I was the one person who got Wii Play who wanted Wii Play. I didn't buy it because it came with a controller. I just bought it because I wanted another game. Because I was getting bored of Wii Sports Resort. Or, sorry, Wii Sports. That came with it. That was the best. One of the best decisions Nintendo's ever made. Think about it. I think it's the only system. Well, no, that's a lie, because there are also launch systems which have games included with them. What am I saying? Of course. But that's what... That was a great thing, to put Wii Sports with the Wii. I feel like... I think I've talked about this before. How I feel like Wii Sports... Or no, not Wii Sports, but I feel like everything that came with the 3DS, the Nintendo 3DS, were all just tech demos in terms of oh, we can show you what it could do, what it's capable of doing, but nobody ever did anything with it. So you didn't get a lot of AR things. You didn't get a lot of 3D camera tricks. You didn't get a lot of 3D. To be honest with you, you didn't get a lot of 3D. Okay, to be honest, I didn't hate the 3D when I first played it, but I was like everybody. I thought that those were tech demos. You didn't get a lot of things. I always say this. You got no. What's it called? AR card support for AR stuff? Nothing. You got the one, at least as far as I know, you got the cards that came with your 3DS. And then they came out with the Kid Icarus Uprising AR cards, which they kind of used. I don't know what they did with it, actually, never mind. I was going to say. Were those used? I heard they were used for, power-ups and, that kind of thing. Basically what a amiibo would be equivalent of now. But, I don't know. Don't ask me. But, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I didn't hate the 3D as a kid. It was just, when it was never used, it wasn't used. It was like 3D movies, right? I didn't hate 3D movies as a kid. It's just that when it wasn't used, I was like, cause I would take off my glasses and I'd be like, they do nothing. The 3D movies, they do nothing. These 3D movies, they do nothing. What? These 3D, there's no 3D in this movie. What is going on? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, come on. It's stupid. You could have used more 3D. I don't know. You could have done more with the 3D. I don't know. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I don't make movies, so I don't know that kind of stuff, but yeah. I just remember watching lots of movies and going, I remember my friends also going, yeah, there was no 3D in that movie. None. But every movie had damn 3D. 3D, everything. At one point. It was the 2000s, early 2000, the late 2000s, not 2010, 2000s, 2000, right, the early 2000s. So, well, the late, yeah. So, 2007, 8 to about 2013, 13, 14, every single movie, and I mean every single movie was in you couldn't get away from the 3D. It was crazy. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And for me, I didn't feel like it took away from the experience of the movie. Like, oh, because I didn't have the whole headache thing. I did not for 3D movies, and I didn't have the headache thing for the 3DS really either. Not really. I mean, okay, I had eyes, like my eyes started to hurt, but I didn't get headaches. I don't know, but my eyes just felt like they were being like overly used, like strained, not like it hurt. Like okay, take it, like. Anyway, so yeah, I talk about that all the time. Like, yeah, yeah. So that was just I got a Wii instead of PS3. Yeah, but yeah, the 3DS. I always say, I've said this multiple times. The 3DS they never utilized any of the features that were selling points of the 3DS. 3D. Nobody utilized it very well at all. I mean, there were a few games, but like, it's the 3DS. I mean, even Nintendo realized I realized after a while, they're like, okay, nobody cares, you know. Well, they made a 2DS. They made a 2DS because they realized, look, nobody cares. Your 3D was a gimmick, and it was stupid. I mean, it was impressive to show your friend once. Like, that was it. It was impressive to show your friend once, or to show your dad, or to show someone, relative or something, Oh, look, it's 3D, and then you turn it on, and they would be like, whoa, that's so cool. Because it was a whole glasses-less 3D. You didn't need glasses. That was the, like, revolution about it. But they never utilized it. It's so stupid. I don't know. I thought that was kind of dumb. But anyway. But, I mean, everyone's talked about that. They said the 3D was stupid on the 3DS. Which is why if you want a 3DS, you buy a new 2DS XL. That's it. Because they're not super expensive anymore. They're like $150 now. Which is kind of expensive. Or around $150. I don't know. Probably differs, but around there. Which is not horrible, but it's still expensive. It's no original 2DS where you can get them for like $70, $60. The original 2DS, yeah. So, which I never hated the look of the 2DS. I played a 2DS. It was pretty usable. It was usable. I didn't love it, but but it was fine, usable. It was usable. I didn't think there was a problem with it, It wasn't like something like the PSP. No, something like the Game Boy Advance SP, where that thing was tiny. Even as a kid, I was like, a little small. A little small. I mean, it wasn't horribly small, because I was a kid. But even as a kid, I was like, okay, this is a little small. So, where's my I have it around here somewhere. I don't even know where that is. I think it's on this desk somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So, I could not tell you where it is. Nope. Yeah. So, that's what that was. And so yeah, Animal Crossing came out. I never did anything with Animal Crossing, and I'm never a big Animal Crossing. Like, those kind of games were always boring to me. I'm sorry, they were really boring. They were really boring. They were simulators, which is weird because I liked the whole idea of a simulator, and I liked looking at simulators, but because I remember my friend had a simulator. I don't know what game it was. Do not ask me. It looked like SimCity, but I don't know if it was SimCity. But it looked like SimCity, and it looked like SimCity, and it was on PC. And I remember that we didn't play for a long time. So I didn't play for a long time. So I didn't get in depth like, oh, I have all these memories of it. I just have this vague like wisp of a memory like of me sitting at a computer. Or no, me sitting next to my friend with my brother next to him too. We're just watching him play a PC game. It was like a SimCity kind of like a city building simulator. I don't remember. It looked like SimCity 2000 or SimCity, but I don't know because I don't remember. I just don't. So I like the idea and I like the looking of him, looking what the style that would look like, but then when I played him later, I was like, oh god, these are so boring. This is so boring. I didn't have a lot of them as a kid either. I apparently had SimCity 2000, but I never played it as a kid. Nope. No, I didn't. Also, because I didn't know how computer games worked, and so I just I just stick a computer game into my Windows 2000 Dell PC, and just assume it would work, and then it just didn't work. Like, oh, like I didn't know how to get things to work and run properly and any of that stuff, and I didn't know like virtual machines. I'm sure virtual machines existed when I was a kid, because I was doing stuff in like 2005, 2006, 7. I'm sure by then they were around. I just didn't know anything about how to do anything. I was also really stupid with like technology. Really dumb. I didn't know anything about it. So I was also like 7 or 8 when I was playing these games. Six to 8, maybe 9. So I wasn't exactly the most educated on computer stuff. Like I wasn't like the kids in the 80s where you had to learn how to actually 80s and 90s where you had to learn to like write this in do boop beep boop in like DOS or what's it called, DOS or BASIC or any of that kind of stuff, you know. I was in that weird middle stage where they tried to make everything very convenient for users in Windows XP, which it worked from what I used. Again, I didn't use a lot of like technical stuff. I didn't use like very technical. I was made playing games, and for me, I was just when a game didn't work, I was like, oh well. I would put it back on the shelf and be like, oh well. So I had a whole pile, like a stack of at least like 5 or 6, maybe as many as 10. I don't think it was that much, but games that just didn't work. Just like, oh well. But yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So a lot of educational games I played as a kid. A lot of educational games. A lot of them. But yeah. So what was I just talking about before that though? How did I get into this topic? Oh yeah, simulators. And how I like simulators. No, but before that, simulators, I was talking about. But I had a thought. I had a train of thought that I was going to, and then I just went back into that. So now where am I? Wait, I was talking about simulators, and I was talking about. What kind of games I liked? I hated it. Did not like simulators as a kid. Well, I liked the idea, but I didn't like playing them. Okay, but what was I going back? Go back again. And what was I talking about? What was I talking about? What kind of games? I like the Wii games. I don't remember what I was talking about, but anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for now. Well, I was talking about that and I went back and I PC games. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry, something fell there. yeah, I think that's shit. I don't know. Not much else to talk about. So, so yeah. So I don't really care. I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know. I guess that's it. Yeah, because the other games I remember on PC that were actually good, that weren't educational games, was I remember playing with a friend. I was at a friend's house, and she was playing Zoo Tycoon. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. I thought it was 2, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I think I thought it was 2 because I had 2 on DS, and I didn't have 1, so I was just assumed it was 2. Like, oh well, it's got to be 2 we played, right? That kid was like, yeah, I played the same game I had, right? And I was like, no, it could have been 1. Anyway, so I remember always wanting to play that game because um you can take out the animals and put them in different cages, let them eat each other and like destroy each other, or eat the guests too. You can put them just let them roam the park or the zoo, and so I thought that you could get the same thing on DS. That's why I bought it on DS. Three Tycoon 2. Because I've said this before. I've had the choice. I was looking at either Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on DS or Zoo Tycoon 2 on DS, and I'm so glad I chose Zoo Tycoon 2 on DS because it's such a better game. From what I've seen of the Zack and Cody one, it was a shovelware piece of garbage. I mean, absolute trash. From what I've seen, well, not trash, but yeah, it was bad. Maybe shovelware. Now look, I don't think all shovelware is bad. Let me just say this. No, I don't think all shovelware is bad. It's like I've said before. It's the problem with them is not they're not connected to the source. They're either not connected to the source material, or too connected to the source material, and they're not a game. They're not connected enough to the source material, so they're just this weird thing that has nothing to do with the source material, right? Or they're too close to the source material, and they're not a game. They're just like either a movie or text or something, and like it's boring or whatever, you know? Because from what I've heard, games like the Harry Potter games on Game Boy Color. Is that what it was? The Harry Potter games on Game Boy Color are very like text heavy and very so they don't become a game. I mean, from what I heard, they're a really good game, but they're not too much of a game. I mean, they're fine. I don't know, but yeah. Uh, yeah. So like that's what I think the problems were. What was I just talking about? Yeah. What game was it now that I was talking about? Just about bad shovelware. Oh gosh, bad shovelware was bad. Oh yeah. So it was Zack and Cody, right. So yeah, that's why. I think that's why. And from what I saw of that game, there was a lot of things that were just. It was also graphical. It wasn't great, and like I don't know. Apparently, I hear that they're always told. Well, from the THQ people, because I knew somebody who worked at THQ, and he was just like, yeah, it had nothing to do. Because they made a lot of the like Pixar movie tie-ins, game tie-ins, where it's like, what game ports, and you're like, what? And he would be like, he would go see the movie after, right, and be like, we are not making this based from the movie. Like, this is not in the movie, or this is not in the movie. You know. Anyway, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't play shovelware, and surprisingly, I avoided a lot of bad, um, licensed shovelware on the in my when I played video games back in my heyday of video games, which was when I was a kid, so like 10 or 12, 15 years ago, about. So, nah, my heyday was like 10 years ago. But yeah, I surprising because I also had the choice once between getting the Nerf. Well, it wasn't Nerf branded, but it was a foam flinging Stormtrooper. I think it was Clone Trooper Blaster, to be honest. Or Kung Fu Panda on DS, and I did not choose Kung Fu Panda on DS. That I remember playing the demo of, or playing for a few minutes at a kiosk. I don't know why they had Kung Fu Panda, but that's what I remember playing. Right? At a kiosk, like a demo or like a kiosk. And just being like, it's a good game. It's a fine game. And the reason I didn't pick it up, the only reason I didn't pick it up was because I didn't have my DS on me. Or I didn't think I had my DS with me, right? My mom said, what do you want? Do you want the blaster? Or do you want Kung Fu Panda on the game? And I was like, well, I don't have my DS with me. And she's like, yeah, you do. But that was after I picked it up, I think. Or no. No. I think it was in front of the Walmart, though. I think it was a Walmart, or I'm not sure if I bought it at EB Games or where I would have gotten the other one. But anyway, so I remember that. So surprisingly, I did not do a lot of shovelware. No. Yeah. Not on Wii, not on. I played a lot of shovelware, but I did not buy a lot of shovelware. Because I know people, I've heard stories of people they had the worst shovelware crap as a kid. Because they didn't know better, right? And weirdly enough, I didn't pick up crap games. You know? My choices were pretty good. And not that I based my choices on, like, this is a good game. I just happened to pick up good games, you know? Anyway. Because I've heard things like, people had things like Ghostbusters on NES, or they had, like, stacks of shovelware games, or just really bad games, right? And I just went right by me. Like, I did not pick up a bad. Now, I had bad games, don't get me wrong. It's just I did not pick up all. Well, okay. That. I just thought of one that could be classified as bad tie-in shovelware. The Star Wars Battlefront on DS was absolutely atrocious. Now that I look back at it. But as a kid, I liked it. I don't know, it was something about it that was like, I was like, I think it was more of I kind of knew it was awful because I had played Battlefront on PS2. And so I think there was kind of this, because I knew what good Battlefront was, right? I played Battlefront 2 on PS2, right? The original Battlefront 2 on PS2. And I think the reason I didn't think the other one was horrible, or didn't accept that it was horrible, I didn't like admit it was horrible, was because I was like, but I was like, it's like the whole thing. I picked it up and I bought it, and like that's all you had. You know, the whole you're only getting two things, one's for Christmas, one for maybe your birthday. You know, maybe even. You know, so like you didn't get to randomly pick up another game. So for me, it was like you have it, and here you go. And your mom or your parents were like, nope, that's it. So I had to play it, right? And I kind of just accepted it, like, you know. That was a bad game. That one you could maybe classify as bad tie-in shovelware because it was bad. And I look back at it and it was bad. Whether it was graphically or gameplay, it was just bad. Now you could have inferior ports of games, like the game. It was still a great game, but it was a definitely an inferior port of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed on DS. Because there was a one on, I think it was on PSP, maybe. I know it was on PS3. And I know there's one on Wii also, I think. And I know that the DS one was the worst port, from what I heard. So, yeah. You could say that the Battlefront on DS was bad. I'm trying to think of all the games I had as a kid. On DS and on Wii. Wii, I did not have a lot. I did not have a lot on Wii. I had way more on DS. On DS, yeah. Let me look at the games I have on DS. Right over here. Just give me a sec. Lego Star Wars: The Original Trilogy. It's not a bad game. It's just really, really slow. It's just slow paced. Like it's like they took the game and like turned it down like 30%. It was so slow a game. But that was Star Wars, and so I just was like, I didn't care. I loved everything about Star Wars. I think that's the other thing too why I liked the other one too, because I was so into Star Wars that I was just like, even if it was bad, I didn't never want to accept that it was bad. I was just like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's definitely it's no. I just was the blind like the interest the liking of Star Wars was just like no, it's fine. Same way I like Star Wars. Oh gosh, what's that called? Shadows of the Empire. Like I can see now that I had a little bit of like a no, it's great. No, anything this is just great, right? Well, it's not. Shadows of the Empire was awful. It's a bad game. It's a bad game. Okay, maybe it wasn't awful, but it was bad. And so was Battlefront on DS, and so was Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy. Now, see, I got Lego Star Wars, Complete Saga, and I was like, now this is what the game should have been. This is what the original trilogy could or should have been. Like, it should have been a better, fast-paced, more to-do game. I don't know. I just like Complete Saga way better. Now, that being said, it was still like a playable game, and I liked different things about it. Like I liked the fact that in the trilogy, in the original trilogy one, Lego Star Wars trilogy, you could select, you could always change from any character, any vehicle, or I'm sorry, any character that you had unlocked. On the bottom screen, you'd be able to change through all the characters you had. Unlike the other Lego games, where you always have to pick one, and you get 6, I think, either 6 characters. So, like, I had Lego Star Wars Indiana Jones, and they did the same thing in that one, where it was like, really, you have to choose only one. Because I was like, wait, what? Why? Because those are the only redeeming qualities to Star Wars. Now, I'm not saying that was bad, like that bad. It was really that bad. But like the best part about it was that the other was the choosing all the things all the time, like any character you wanted. Like in a level, you could always choose any character. So, and then in the other thing that was great about it was cheats. Cheats were funny. Cheats were good. Were cool. It was like mugs as weapons, or mugs as blasters, or with mugs as blasters, or what else? Mugs as blasters, or disco, or western, or a raining, is it? Or black and white movie? Was good ones. Or big. I think it was a big-headed mode. I believe there was a big-headed mode. Or tiny enemy mode. Oh, those are good. Anyway, yeah. I remember beating that game. Yeah. And again, because it was the only one I had for so long, I played it. See, I wasn't that kid who would just like, no, this is so bad, I don't care. I'm never gonna play this. I know I'm not gonna play this. I'll put it down. I don't care if I paid. I don't care if I paid good money for this game. I'm just not. I don't care. You know, like it's bad. You know? No, I was like, well, I'll play it. Also, because I just wanted to play anything, and I would want to sit in front of any kind of screen, anytime, anywhere, ever, all the time. So, yeah. I think that'll be it for now, guys. If you want to get in touch, ask questions, comments, concerns, um, that would be the email tacoimposters@gmail.com. Also have a Discord, link in the description, and a Patreon. Still have nothing on the Patreon because I don't know what to put on the Patreon. I don't know what the reward should be. I have no idea what the reward should be. I've been thinking about this for months. I'm like, I still don't know what to put on Patreon. Maybe I should make like $10 for like a t-shirt or something, maybe? I don't know. But the problem is, what do I put on the t-shirt? I don't know. Give me suggestions down below what I should put in the Patreon. I have no idea. I think that'll be it for now, guys. So, adios.